Alright, so this is a suggestion via donation. The name of the video is Top 10 Terrifying Places in Montana You Should Never Visit. Alright, let's go and check this out. Guys, Montana is an absolutely beautiful state. Alright, I love the fact that the sky feels bigger than everywhere else. Right, everywhere you look, it's just green. Right, it's a beautiful place, guys. But alright.
Montana is full of places that are paranormal hotspots and spooky tourists' dreams. I'm your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and let's dive right into just a few as we cover the top 10 terrifying places in Montana you should never visit. Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have Grand Union Hotel. This hotel resides in Fort Benton, which is one of the oldest towns in Montana, and it was first established by the French-American fur traders Auguste and Pierre Chouteau in 1846. While much of the town has been dismantled by the years, the Grand Union Hotel still stands, and it is among the oldest in the town, with its initial build taking place in 1882. There are many ghost stories and haunting tales that have come from this hotel, but I will tell you one of my favorites. Apparently, this hotel might be the home to a paranormal horse. A phantom horse. It really doesn't get more interesting than that. People have reported hearing the stomping of hooves, and they believe that this horse belonged to a cowboy who, one night after having a few too many pops, tried to ride his horse up the main staircase before he was shot by the hotel manager. In our number 9 spot today, we have...
Guys, really quickly, the most recent review of this place, one of them at least, let's see, it states... What a treat to stay here, guys. What horse are you talking about? I love this historical hotel. Our rooms overlook the Missouri River. The staff was very friendly. The restaurant's food is delicious. Okay, 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 on the room, 5 out of 5 on the service and the location. Great view and quiet. There are also images here. I see no horses. But all right.
2223 Montana Ave in Billings. This address seems a little suspiciously specific, but the story behind this haunting is quite a tragic accident. In 1945, on December 8th, an airplane that was transporting World War II soldiers who were returning home from war ended up crashing in a field east of Rocky Mountain College. 17 servicemen and 2 pilots lost their lives in this crash, while there were only 4 survivors. This is, of course, a lot of people, and at the time, it was too many for the morgue to handle at one time, so the majority of the bodies needed to be stored somewhere else for the time being.
Inside of the spaghetti depot? Ew.
This led to 13 of the bodies being held at a refrigerated warehouse of the local grocery store located at, you guessed it, 2223 Montana Ave.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of health code violations. I mean, I get it. It happened a really long time ago. The standards were much lower, but I'm not sure you should put, human bodies in with, where food is going to end up being. I mean, they have their own refrigerators inside the morgue. I get it. It was full, but it's Montana. It snows. Okay, all right, if you've seen Resident Alien recently, you know what I'm talking about.
This address has had many different businesses come through its doors since this tragic story occurred, and with all these businesses, the same chilling stories have remained. Employees and customers have reported seeing the ghost of a man in a World War II era military uniform inside of this location. Considering the years it's been, it doesn't seem like he's going anywhere soon. In our number 8 spot today, we have Fort Peck Theater. This town dates back to the building of the Fort Peck Dam because the town was initially built to temporarily house the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, workers, and their families. In the 1930s, while building the amenities that would be needed, the Fort Peck Theater was also built in order to provide the residents with some entertainment. The theater is still used to this day, mostly for theatrical productions, but it's also full of paranormal entertainment as well. The theater is said to be haunted by a male spirit who appears wearing 1930s work clothes. Some visitors even report hearing sounds of men at work even when the theater is empty, and sometimes apparitions even appear in the dressing rooms. I just think that's the most theater thing ever. Ghosts in the dressing rooms? Shakespeare would love that. In our number 7 spot today,
absolutely.
We have
I think he would love it. Most recent review. Professional actors, great sets, comfortable seating, nice theater, laid back atmosphere that's not English. Okay, that's an absolute... Okay, let's start over again. Let's try to translate what they're trying to say here. Professional actors, great set, comfortable seating, nice theater, laid-back atmosphere, friendly staff, one-of-a-kind experience, for sure. Was the one-of-a-kind experience random aberrations? Could be. They just didn't say it, but it definitely could be. Maybe they were embarrassed, potentially.
Boulder Hot Springs Inn and Spa. This inn is located, of course, in Boulder, and it is actually a place that dates back to a time before Montana was even a state. This now historical landmark was initially created or recognized in 1881, and it was a place where businessmen, miners, and ranchers could all go, and here they could sort of mingle with each other. In this day and age, it is said that you might still be able to mingle with those guests from all of those years ago, as legend has it, this place is highly haunted. The most well-known of the ghosts here, however, is that of a woman named Simone. It is said that Simone sadly had her life taken in the hotel and that her spirit now resides there. Visitors and staff alike have reported some really strange occurrences like extreme temperature shifts, drastic changes in energy, and even the sound of children running through the halls when there is no one to be seen. In our number 6 spot today, we have St. Charles.
Okay, that would be absolutely awkward if you were, in a building and there were no kids there, but all of a sudden there are kids there running through the halls, right? Specifically in a spa. That'll be weird, guys. I will say, specifically if you could see through them, right? Like if you could see through the kids, yeah, I'd have to leave, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Me personally, at least. I mean, you could probably stay if that's your thing, right? But yeah, I'll leave. Absolutely.
Charles Hall. The oldest building on the Carroll College campus, which is located in Helena, is said to be St. Charles Hall, named after St. Charles Borromeo, who the college was actually initially named after. The building was originally constructed in 1904 and is mostly used as a dorm for students now, and those who reside in this dorm have quite the stories about the men's washroom on the 4th floor. This is said to have been the site of a horrible tale. Story goes that in 1964, a student blacked out while brushing their teeth, and as they fell, they hit their head on the sink in the bathroom. They were treated at the local hospital, but unfortunately passed from their injuries and complications. After this, students using that bathroom began to experience strange happenings. A glance in the mirror would have them seeing a young man standing behind them with a head wound. Some would turn on the faucet and see blood flowing rather than water. After years of these reports, the bathroom has apparently now been locked up and is no longer in use, but people still report hearing scraping sounds from the inside. In our number 5 spot today, we have
all right, let's see. St. Charles Hall in Helena, right? Only has one review, and it states, "There's something about this place. I think it's trying to figure itself out." That's it. That's all it says.
The Many Glacier Hotel. The Many Glacier Hotel has sat in its home on the eastern shore of Swift Current Lake for over a century now, and with history like that, there is bound to be many a ghost story. Other hotels in the area too have talks and tales of hauntings, but none seem as active as the Many Glacier Hotel. A ghost hunter by the name of Karen Stevens has taken to documenting some of these paranormal stories. One of the most frightening is the tale of a young boy who apparently witnessed a woman in a red dress standing in his hotel room. Guests aren't the only ones, however. Employees too have had their own encounters. The most active room in the hotel is apparently room 308, where you can not only hear strange noises, but also see apparitions that vanish into thin air just as quickly as they appeared.
I believe it. This one here, I believe, based off the review that I'm reading here currently. This place is horrible. I would never stay here again. The rest of this review doesn't matter. I stayed in a deluxe room, and it was anything but. The room was tiny. Nothing looked like it had been updated in 20 years. It said nothing about a ghost, but I mean, I guess that says everything you need to know, I guess, if you're looking for something new and modern, you probably shouldn't go to that very specific town, right? You should go somewhere else, like LA or New York. But if you're looking for something quaint, you cannot expect modernity from a place such as this. It's weird. You went to the wrong place. You had your expectations all wrong, bro. Right? Read the room.
Spot today, we have the Daly Mansion. This mansion is located in Hamilton, and in its previous life, it was the farmhouse to the Copper King Marcus Daly. He purchased this home in 1886 and put it through some extensive renovations for it to become the sort of Georgian revival style that it still has today. In 1941, when Margaret Daly passed away, the house fell into disrepair after several years of being neglected, and this led to the state purchasing it in 1986. The state began restoration work on the property, and this is when many of the haunting tales started to spread. Smoking, of course, is not allowed in the home in this day and age, but many visitors to the home have experienced the distinct smell of a cigar smoke that seems to be coming from what was once the office of Marcus Daly. Not only this, but in the music room.
I mean, bro, it could be in the carpet, it could be in the walls. Like, these wallpapers look like they're at least from like the 1200s, right? So imagine The smell's not going to leave. Once you smoke into a room, you got to burn the whole room down, guys. It's absolutely gone going forward.
There is a painting that just can't quite seem to stay on the wall, but no one has ever seen it fall off. Some even report to have seen the ghost of Mrs. Daly themselves. In our number 3.
All right, so really quickly, it actually has a lot of reviews. It's rated 4.7 out of 5. What a beautiful place. This woman's boyfriend and her did a self-guided tour around the mansion. So amazing, right? So much history about this place and the surrounding towns. I recommend taking a visit if you are in this area. It also comes with images. The images look solid.
3 spot today, we have Grasshopper Glacier. This place is quite different than the others on this list, but for me, this place is the stuff of nightmares. Yeah, if you aren't a fan of bugs, you can go ahead and skip this one.
I'm not going to skip it because I'm reacting to it, but generally I probably would because this sounds absolutely horrifying. All right, Grasshopper Glacier. She gave us a trigger warning here. I'm absolutely triggered right now.
I would go. A glacier in Montana is the home to many grasshoppers and locusts. Yeah, imagine heading to a glacier, but you forgot bug spray. What a fool. Oh wait, I forgot. Grasshoppers, they don't care. They aren't mosquitoes. They're absolute savages. Appropriately named Grasshopper Glacier, the mile-long glacier near Crook City holds the remains of extinct grasshoppers. The only thing worse is if they all came back to life. These guys likely were in the middle of travel when they found themselves stuck in a blizzard, and now they're stuck for the foreseeable future. This is like a very forbidden
it's not really that foreseeable, being the fact that most of the glaciers are melting.
Version of one of those like scorpion lollipops. In our number 2 spot today, we have...
All right, listen, that's nasty. She mentioned the scorpion lollipop. That's even equally nasty. But the fact that if you go there, you see the carcasses of, the grasshoppers stuck in ice, frozen in time, that's nasty also, guys. It's all nasty. All of it. Don't go there.
Virginia City. This town is often referred to as a ghost town due to the fact that as of 2020, the population sat just slightly over 200 people, and it is no surprise that this ghost town is said to be the home of some of Montana's most famous hauntings. Virginia City was first founded in 1863 by prospectors who originally named the area after the wife of Confederate President Jefferson Davis. The name was only changed when a Judge G.G. Bissell, who was signing the town's registration, objected to the name and instead ruled it to be called Virginia. The town's population began to grow once people heard of the nearby gold deposits and discoveries. As the town grew, there wasn't sufficient law enforcement, which meant that there were a lot of vigilantes out there looking to take the law into their own hands. This led to many people who were suspected of being traveling robbers being hanged by said vigilante groups. By the time the 1940s rolled around, the town was in ruins. Charles and Sue Bovey ended up coming and buying up all the property they could, and the town now remains a tourist site, but not without some ghostly tales to spice up the story.
That always has to happen. Listen, so let me guess. The ghost stories came after the guy bought it, right? And was like, we need a ploy. I know. Ghosts.
The most well-known ghosts is that of a tall man in a blue Civil War soldier's coat, and he is often said to be found walking around the town's boardwalk at night, smoking as he strolls. Another one of the most famous sightings is that of a woman and a young girl. Little is known about their story, but they are often sighted by tourists. In our number 1 spot today, we have Deer Lodge. Deer Lodge at the old Montana Territorial Prison, now known as the Old Prison Museum, once held prisoners for over 100 years. It apparently was quite a lousy place during that time that was full and overcrowded and had terrible food, and it was just a very dangerous place. Many inmates took each other's lives here, and with all of the stories from when this was a prison, it's just clear that if any place were to be haunted, it would absolutely be this one. There even was a huge riot that broke out in 1959. Since this prison closed down in the 1970s, the tales haven't become any less grim. Visitors report hearing eerie noises, and some have even felt the sensation of being touched. Many people believe that the ghost of convicted killer Paul Eitner, known as Turkey Pete, still haunts cell number
Turkey
1.
Pete.
He was incarcerated at the prison for 49 years before he passed away in 1967. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon.
Alright guys, I can definitely tell you right now that this does not ruin Montana for me. I still think Montana is an absolutely beautiful place. Obviously know where you're going, right? Don't have expectations of, I don't know, Dubai, right? In the middle of Montana, right? Don't do that to yourself. come down to earth a little bit, right? But all right, listen. Let me know in the comments of the next thing that I should be checking out, and I will get into that as soon as I possibly can, all right? And listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.